Pay attention, a new alien conspiracy just dropped. Scientists just wrote a paper suggesting that interstellar visitor 3I Atlas, a meteor, might actually be a hostile alien technology. Apparently, we've gone from telescopes and data models straight into what if the Death Star just flew past Earth? This is more sci-fi fan fiction that snuck into a science journal. At this point, NASA's budget should just include the weapon budget because every new rock from space gets treated like it's War of the Worlds. This isn't about aliens, it's about funding. Slap the words possibly hostile on a space rock and suddenly grants, think tanks, and defense contracts start flowing like Niagara Falls. If you can call it just an asteroid, nobody cares, but call it a disguised alien probe and suddenly it's a national security issue. The outrage isn't about science, it's about money. And fear is the best marketing strategy in the universe. This newly discovered interstellar object, 3I Atlas, could be a piece of possibly hostile extraterrestrial technology in disguise, according to a controversial research from a small group of scientists, including a renowned alien-hunting astronomer. Their paper, which has not been peer-reviewed, echoes similar claims previously made by Uwamamama, the first ever cosmic interloper that was discovered in 2017. But experts have told Live Science that new claims are nonsense and insulting, and insist that the available evidence points toward the object being completely natural. So now this meteor isn't just an interstellar rock, it's maybe a hostile alien drone in disguise. Yeah, maybe because when I look through a telescope at a glowing dot millions of miles away, my first thought is, yup, that's clearly a UFO. This feels like astronomy and more like somebody binged too much Independence Day and decided to write a research paper about it. This is where science gets messy though, because these claims aren't really about discovery, they're about branding. You can't call this 3A Atlas a boring space rock, no one cares about that. But the second you whisper possible hostile alien tech, you've got 1,000 clicks, interviews, and maybe even defense money. It's less about what the telescope sees and more about who can sell the better sci-fi story to the public. 3A Atlas was discovered on July 1st, barreling toward the sun at more than 130,000 miles per hour, and was confirmed to be an interstellar object less than 24 hours later. Initial observations strongly suggest it is a large comet surrounded by a cloud of ice, gas, and dust called a comet, stretching up to 15 miles across. A computer model simulating where it originated from hinted that it could be up to 3 billion years older than our solar system, potentially making it the oldest comet ever seen. Damn. But in a new paper uploaded July 16th to the preprint server RVive, a trio of researchers have questioned whether the comet is actually some form of covert alien tech sent here by an advanced, potentially aggressive extraterrestrial civilization. The researchers described the new paper as a pedagogical exercise or thought experiment, and offer no clear evidence of alien involvement. Instead, they point at the comet's anomalous characteristics and provide alternative theories to explain them. This meteor is possibly older than our entire solar system. Instead of just calling it the oldest comet ever, Grandma Comet, some researchers went straight to, what if it's a hostile alien drone? It's a giant ice ball with a gas cloud bigger than Manhattan. If this is alien tech, then ET has gotten really sloppy. Here's the kicker. The authors admit it's just a pedagogical exercise. Basically, it's just a thought. It's they're using their fucking imagination. But throw the words hostile alien tech into the paper, and suddenly the media runs with it like the gospel. This is how science gets turned into clickbait. Real astronomers spend decades studying comet chemistry, and then 3 wise guys drop a what-if scenario and steal the headlines. It's not about data. It's about who can spin a better story. The study's most notable author is Avi Loeb, an astronomer at Harvard University who is renowned for linking extraterrestrial objects to intelligent aliens. He is the head of Galileo Project, which is attempting to detect evidence of techno-signatures and UFOs. In 2023, he led a controversial expedition that claimed to have collected pieces of possible alien tech left behind by an unconfirmed interstellar meteorite in the Pacific Ocean. These claims have been largely debunked by outside researchers. In a blog post explaining the new paper, Loeb wrote that if 3I Atlas is a technological artifact, it could be evidence of the dark forest hypothesis, which argues that the reason we have not found evidence of extraterrestrial life is that they are staying silent to remain invisible to potential predators or prey. The consequences, should the hypothesis turn out to be correct, could potentially be dire for humanity and could possibly require defensive measures to be undertaken. So this Harvard guy basically speed runs turning every weird space rock into alien tech, and he now says this new rock could prove the dark forest hypothesis. Translation: the universe is a giant game of hide and seek where everyone stays quiet because the second you make noise, space predators fucking laser you to death. At this rate, Loeb's next paper is going to say that Saturn's rings are just an intergalactic Wi-Fi router. This is where this researcher walks a fine line between science and fear-mongering. By hinting at the dire consequences and defensive measures, he's essentially framing comet research like it's national security. That kind of language doesn't just push the alien narrative, it opens the door for military budgets to hijack astronomy. Once you brand a space rock as possibly hostile, you're not talking science anymore, you're selling fear. Since 3I Atlas was discovered, researchers have been trying to identify it, and so far, overwhelming consensus is that it is a comet. There have been numerous telescopic observations of Atlas demonstrating that it's displaying classical signatures of cometary activity. Darrell Seligman, an astronomer at Michigan State University, who led the first study quantifying Atlas, told Live Science in an email. All evidence points to this being an ordinary comet that was ejected from another solar system, just as countless billions of comets have been ejected from our own solar system, added Samantha Lawler, an astronomer at the University of Regina in Canada, who specializes in solar system dynamics. Any assumptions about the object's lack of volatiles is also premature at this time. The object is still pretty far away from the sun, so no, we wouldn't typically expect to find direct evidence of volatiles necessarily, Seligman said. Instead, these compounds will likely become apparent in the coming weeks and months, he added. Loeb admits that the alien technology scenario is a long shot. By far, the most likely outcome will be that Atlas is a completely natural interstellar object, probably a comet, he wrote in a blog post. So every other astronomer on Earth is saying Atlas looks, acts, and smells like a comet. We've got telescopes showing the gas cloud, the ice, the whole package. Meanwhile, Loeb is in the corner going, but what if it's a death machine from space? It's like 20 people agree it's a goldfish, and one guy insists it might be a shark in disguise. This shows the tension in modern science. One camp builds a consensus through boring, careful data, while another hijacks the spotlight by floating extreme low probability scenarios. Loeb even admits the alien tech angle is a long shot, but that's the part that doesn't make the headlines. And in today's media economy, it comes down to sensational speculation. That's what gets rewarded, not evidence. The controversy isn't about the comet, it's about who controls the narrative of discovery. So astronomers are lining up to say, relax, is a comet, nothing to see here, but Loeb is basically pitching the trailer for World War II. At this point, every time space spits out a rock, he's got alien tech drafted and saved and ready to upload to the internet. If this keeps up by 2030, he's going to declare that the moon is just a giant Bluetooth speaker left behind by some other alien species. So that's the end of my rant about this new alien conspiracy that just dropped. What are your thoughts? Do you think this guy is full of it? Or you never know, one of these giant space rocks just might be a spacecraft and hostile alien tech? Let me know in the comments below. Have a great day. See you later. Peace.